start with a question. How many of you have ever looked at a celebrity on social media and thought, I wish I had her beauty? Or saw someone incredibly successful and thought, I wish I was her? Yeah, almost all of us have felt that way, right? We may not say it out loud, but inside our minds, the comparison never stops. Today, I want to talk about those quiet moments, the one that steals our happiness, self-love, and sometimes even our confidence. At our age, comparison have almost become automatic. We see celebrities with glowing skin and suddenly our own face feels not enough. We see someone accomplishing amazing things and start to wonder if our own achievements matter. We see someone beautiful, talented, successful, and thought comes, I wish I was her. Not because we hate ourselves, but because we've been trained to believe that someone else is always better. Sometimes we don't even realize how deeply this mindset affects us. It changes the way we speak about ourselves. It changes the way we see our future, even the way we celebrate our own achievements. Instead of being proud of how far we have come, we immediately look at someone doing better. And suddenly, our own progress feels small again. We live in a world that is, we compare our normal life to someone else's edited highlights. And suddenly, the things we liked about ourselves start to look small. We live in a world that is constantly measuring us. Our marks are compared, our careers are judged, our looks, lifestyles, achievements are constantly evaluated. Even as students, we feel pressure to score higher, look perfect, pressure to always seem confident and successful. And honestly, it can become exhausting. From a very young age, we've been taught an unspoken lesson that you're only good enough when you are better than others. But no one talks about the cost of this mindset. Comparison doesn't just steal happiness, it quietly steals who we are. Growing up, there was one person I was constantly compared to, my cousin. We were not the same age, also not on the same journey. Yet, the comparison never stopped. Look at her, she's doing so well. Why can't you be more like her? Which was meant to motivate me but slowly became a pressure. I began to doubt myself. My efforts felt invisible, and my progress never felt enough. And I think many people here can relate to this feeling, right? Sometimes people compare us without realizing how deeply their words stay in our mind. A single comparison, which may sound small to them, but for the person hearing it constantly, it becomes the part of how they see themselves. Instead of discovering who I truly was, I started to become someone I wasn't. That's when I realized comparison doesn't push us forward, it pulls us away from ourselves. Comparison teaches us to measure our worth using someone else's life. But happiness cannot grow where comparison lives. Because when we compare, someone else's success feels like our failure. Being different feels like being wrong. And our journey always feels slow, even if it is meaningful. We begin rushing our lives because we think we are behind. Behind in success, behind in beauty, behind in achievements. But the truth is, life was never meant to be a race. Everyone grows differently. Some people discover themselves earlier, some people take longer. And that does not make anyone less valuable. There will always be someone ahead. And if happiness depends on comparison, then happiness will always be postponed. When comparison starts, pretending usually follows. We think, if I act like her, maybe people will like me. If I dress like her, maybe I'll look better. If I become perfect, maybe I'll finally feel enough. Without realizing, we slowly stop asking ourselves one important question: what do I actually want? Because we become so busy trying to fit into the world's expectations that we forget to understand ourselves. But here's the truth: pretending is exhausting. Trying to be someone else is like wearing shoes that don't fit. The longer you wear them, the more they hurt. I was tired of trying to fit into a shape that was never mine. And one day, while casually browsing, I came across a line that completely changed the way I think. Be yourself, everyone else is already taken. And in that moment, something clicked. I realized there is only one copy of you in the whole world, the only one person with your thoughts, your personality, your heart. And maybe that uniqueness is not something to hide, maybe something to protect. Because the things that make us different are often the things that makes us memorable. So why waste the uniqueness trying to be a copy? Why spend your entire life just trying to fit into the world's expectations? That was the moment I chose authenticity over approval. And for the first time, I felt free. Not because life suddenly became perfect, but because I stopped trying to fight myself. I stopped trying to become someone else's definition of enough. And that changed everything. The art of being yourself is not about becoming better than others, but it's about becoming truly who you are. It's not a competition, it's a celebration. It's about celebrating your peace, your strengths, your thoughts, and the path only you can walk. And when I finally accepted myself, something powerful happened. Comparison lost its power. Pressure turned into peace, and confidence slowly replaced self doubt. I started appreciating my own progress instead of constantly comparing it. I started understanding that my worth does not decrease just because someone else is doing well. And honestly, that mindset brought me more peace than comparison ever did. So the next time you're being compared to a sibling, a cousin, a friend, or even celebrities on social media, remember the words of Oscar Wilde: be yourself, everyone else is already taken. Your journey does not need to look like anyone else to be meaningful. Choosing to be yourself is an act of courage, especially in a world that constantly tells us to change just to fit in. The moment you stop comparing is the moment you truly start living. And that is the true art of being yourself. Thank you.